Now for pyramids and cones, or what we're gonna do, basically what I do is, you guys can see on the left, I'm gonna use water. What I ended up doing is that I got a prism. We learned yesterday that the prism is gonna be the volume of a prism was gonna be the area of the base times the height. Okay, so we learned that. Let me make my base and height a little bit bigger. So we learned area of the base times the height. That's what we saw yesterday for prisms or cylinders. Now I'm going to be looking at a pyramid. A pyramid comes from a prism, and cones, which come from cylinders. Okay, so I'm going to look at a pyramid in a code, and I'm going to use, since I'm using the space inside, I'm going to measure the space inside with water. What I did at the side, I have pictures here of what I did. On the left, I grab a pyramid and I fill up. I saw how many pyramids it took for me to fill out the prism. And I did the same with the cone. I saw how many cones it took for me to fill up a cylinder. Interesting is that each time it took me three. So three pyramids make a prism, right? It took me to fill up three times. You guys don't believe me. You guys can try it at home. Make sure the base is the same on the pyramids and the prism, or the cone and the cylinder. So the base has to be the same and the height has to be the same, okay? Now, it took me three times. So I know the entire prism or cylinder is area of the base times height. Now, if I want to know how much is just one cone or one pyramid, I'm going to go area of the base times height divided by 3. Okay, I'm going to be dividing it by 3 because it took me 3 pyramids for a prism, or it took me 3 cones for a cylinder. So I'm going to do area of the base times height and then divide it by 3. All right, so let's take a look at our notes here. I want to work questions 13 through 16. So here's number 13. It looks like a pyramid. And I just learned right now that I'm gonna go with the volume is gonna be the area of the base times the height. My result, I'm gonna divide it by 3. Again, it takes me 3 pyramids to fill up a prism. So the base, I see it's a rectangle. It's a 4 by 5 rectangle. So I'm just gonna go 4 times 5. Right, that gives me the area of the base. The height, we can see this dotted line, and we see the measurement that it is 9. So the height of the pyramid is 9. Now my result, I'm going to divide this by 3. So I'm going to go 4 times 5 times 9 divided by 3. In this case, I happen to get 60. Okay? So I just went for the area of the base times the height divided by 3. Don't forget that dividing by 3, pyramids and cones. All right, let's take a look at number 14. The base is a circle, so I'm just going to go 12 times 12 times pi. Because remember, I have to go radius times radius, or people call it radius squared. So that's the area of the base. The height I can tell is 24. Right, I'm looking at the height. This is right here, 24. And whatever I get, I'm going to divide this by 3. Again, don't forget dividing it by 3. So 12 times pi. I'm using the symbol pi. I'm not using 3.14. I'm using the key pi. Again, on EDIA, if you guys are using EDIA, you guys can type in PI and it gives you the symbol pi. So you guys are using pi, the whole pi. So 12 times pi times 24 divided by 3. I'm going to round my answer to 1 decimal place. In my notes, it says rounded to the nearest 10th. If I ask you for the nearest 100th, well, 2 decimal places, or 3 decimal places, or 4, as many as you're asked for it. In my notes, I'm going to round it to 1 decimal place. So I'm going to do 3,619.1. Okay. Make sure you guys read the instructions. And on the homework, I'm going to vary. Sometimes I might ask you for 1 decimal place. Sometimes I might ask you for 2 decimal places. I want to make sure you guys are reading the instructions. So pay attention to that. Let's take a look at question number 15. This is a cone. Now the radius, I need the radius for a cone. The radius in this case happens to be 9 because I just need half of the diameter. The whole diameter is 18. I just need 9. So I'm just going to go 9 times 9 times pi. Some of you might be, can I just call it 81 times pi? Yeah, you know what 9 times 9 is. Okay. So that's the area of the base, right? That's the circle. The height we can tell is 18. That's the height. Okay, some of you might be like, why is this height not going up and down? Why is it laying down? Well, imagine yourself, right? You have a height. You have a height, and then you lay down. Do you get shorter when you lay down? Well, not quite. Your height in that case is sideways. So your height is not always up and down. Sometimes it's sideways. Okay, so we have the height here is 18. So area of the base times height divided by 3. So I'm going to go 81 times pi times 18 divided by 3. I'm going to round my answer to 1 decimal place, and I'm going to get 1,526.8. Make sure you guys type this on a calculator to follow me along. Now let's take a look at number 18. The base in this here, I can see the triangle. It's right here. And my 90-degree angle, my triangle is right there. It's made out of 6 and 8. So for the base, I'm going to go 6 times 8 divided by 2. Like I said, all of this is just the triangle. 6 times 8 divided by 2. The height of the pyramid, I can tell, is 7. And whatever I get out of all of this, I'm going to divide this by 3. According to my calculator, I get 56. And I went area of the base, which is a triangle. Don't forget 6 times 8 divided by 2. Because the dividing by 2 is because a triangle is half of a rectangle. So area of the base times the height divided by 3. Let's zoom out so you guys can see what we did today. Let me emphasize. For pyramids and cones, area of the base times the height divided by 3.